Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to is probably one of my most exciting days ever. We are racing for our very first time here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in go-karts, and it's gonna be my first live event, so very excited. It's super early in the morning. Woke up like around 5. I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who helped make this possible. Gonna see how we do here, just get familiar with the karts, and hopefully we can come home with a podium, maybe even a win. I don't know, but it's gonna definitely be against some really competitive guys, and very excited. So let's see what happens. Yes, so we are here racing at the Laura race layout here at Exotic Racing, a really cool, interesting area right next to the speedway. It's a place where you can come and drive some exotic cars, or even drive some of these go-karts, or just do some drifting here as well to get taken out by professional. And it's a really cool spot. Very excited to see how we do around the race, but let's take you on a quick little track walk. All right, so we're on the track right now. We're heading into turn 1. See the layouts right here? It's pretty big. It's actually bigger than I was expecting. I thought it was gonna be a little bit small in this, but it's not your typical indoor karting track. You can definitely see a lot of deaths right here. A lot of people heading to the barrier. A lot of shadow realm entries. Yeah, we'll just see how everything works out here heading to turn number 1. If you guys see right there, it's just crazy. It's just a quick left-right flick. Definitely gonna be some people in the barrier. So we just finished our track walk right now, and it's an interesting track. A lot of hairpins, so hopefully there's gonna be a lot of overtakes and a lot of action for you guys. But like I said, there's a couple of spots where I can see it being kind of crazy, especially through this real life chicane of death. But we'll see how everything runs here. But we're gonna do some driver meeting right now, just kind of get the understanding of the rules and just everything about the event, and then we'll after that get strapped up, and we should be heading into qualifying. And it's gonna be 2 heat races, and I believe the second heat is where they're gonna be determining the final results and the podium and all that good stuff. But right now we're just gonna go back inside and just get ready for a pre-driver meeting, and then we'll see how this race goes. So yes, so after the track walk, we went straight into the pre-driver meeting, and all they basically said was just gave us a rundown of the rules, exactly how they want us to drive, and just lay out the penalty situation. But the one thing that I did find interesting is that we were gonna have a qualifying race, and then after that was gonna be 2 heats. But the qualifying was gonna determine in which heat races you were going to be in, and they actually separated you in 3 different categories. So you're separated in either group C, B, or A being the quickest of the qualifiers, and then C being the slowest. So we wanted to at least get out of group C as we were waiting for these guys to turn on my kart. But yes, we're gonna go out for a qualifying, hopefully put in a quick enough lap time where we're able to get out of group C and put ourselves into group B, maybe into group A. But I'm not expecting too much here, since this is my very first time ever driving these karts and ever being on this racetrack. So here we go, guys. We get down to the straight, head down to the start finish line for the first time.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
And we spin out on our very first lap, on our very first corner, and that just wastes the whole entire lap that we could have gotten under our belt. And now we just have to reset ourselves here, find someone to kind of follow and just kind of learn the track, and just hope and pray that we can get a good enough qualifying time to get us into group B, or if not group A. So here we go, guys. This is going to be our little tour of the track as we just came out of turn 1 and turn 2, leading us into another hairpin that's going to lead us into a very long straight, probably the second longest straight on the track. And here we go, coming off the corner, we head down to the straight, leading us into the chicane of death that I think it is on this track. As you can see, it just sweeps you out to the left, and then this quick right corner, full throttle basically the entire way until you reach that corner right there. Brake early, get onto the power, and then just stay on the power off of this hairpin as well. Stay flooring it down all the way, 100% throttle, all the way up into the line, and that is a lap around the Lada layout. And so we're gonna see how we do here as we come back in to the pits. And I felt somewhat decent. I was following some really quick guys. That guy in the Ferrari t-shirt was actually one of the quickest guys here for today. And so we were trying to keep up with him, but he was just pulling away, and he actually was able to out-qualify us by about 3 seconds. But luckily, we were able to find ourselves in Group B. So we just made it into the Group B session, as I believe we qualified 9th for this session. So we weren't in the slowest, we weren't in the fastest group, but we were just right smack in the middle. And to be honest, just this being our very first karting event, I couldn't be more happy than that. So we're gonna see if we can make some overtakes here from the back as we wait for the 3, 2, 1. He's waving his right arm right now. He says ready. We all wave our hands in. Okay, and away we go. So green flag, here we go. First race out of 2, and wherever we finish out for this first race is where we're gonna be starting off on the second one. And we just don't get a good enough start there, as we actually lose a position. So starting off in P9, we fall back into P10, but try to get an overtake on P number 9 on the guy on the left, but just could not get anything working here as we try to go for a cutback onto this very long straight. So this part kind of worried me. I didn't really know where to go here because it was 3 wide into the chicane of death, but luckily everybody sorted themselves out, unlike people on GT Sport, and everyone was able to get through a single file. They used common sense, and we were able to survive that without any incidents as we try to make another overtake here on P number 9, but just cannot get the power down on the exit, and he was able to pull away here. So already just 1 lap into the race, and you can see there's a huge field separation, as I believe P1 is already coming out of turn number 1, and we're just crossing the start finish line, as there was someone who just spun out right into turn number 1, probably did the exact same thing as me, and got on the brakes a little bit too hard and just spun out. So 1 free position for us, we're gonna take it. And I saw a little bit of battling happening up ahead for P number 6, so that was in my favor right here. I was really happy to see that, because what I know is that if they start battling with each other and continue battling with each other, it'll be easier for us to catch up to them, and hopefully we can catch up and make an overtake. But heading off of turn number 1, we get a really great exit compared to 8th place, and we're able to make another overtake. But heading into the hairpin, he was just able to kind of get the cut back down, and we gave him plenty of room on the outside. Goes for another cutback there, and I'm a little bit worried here as we head back into chicane of death, but we're able to keep a single file, and he was really nice enough to just follow right behind us, and now we find ourselves in 8th place. So very first karting race, and like I said, everything's going pretty well right now. It's we're just trying to get the feel of the kart, make sure that we know what the limit is exactly with these karts, and just learning where the braking points are at exactly, because as you can see, I'm just a tad bit all over the place with the consistency as we just overshoot turn number 1. And now here on lap number 4, we get overtaken by P9, as he was able to just send it on the inside, just power out on the exit. And now we just find ourselves right behind him as we head down the straight. And so this has kind of been what the name of the game here is. I just could not get the power down on the exit. It was very tricky to just find that limit of when to get back on the power on these karts, as it seemed like if you were able to just keep the revs running, and you were able to keep it, running at a higher RPM on the exit, you were able to get a really good lap time and just get a really good run. You can see P10 was able to do that. I believe that was the guy that spun out on turn number 1 back on lap 2. So he was able to find his way through, catch right back up to us, and he made a simple overtake down the straight and was able to regain that 9th place position as we fall back into last place. So at this point, I was kind of worrying about where we were going to finish at, just because we weren't really making up any time on the guys up ahead, and we weren't really being consistent with the lap. So I was just doing everything in my power to just find some different lines, just see if I can break a tad bit later on some of these corners, see if I can get on the power a tad bit earlier on some of these corners, and just doing everything, just experimenting all different types of lines to see if we can improve our lap time. So wasn't too worried right now with just finishing in a really good position right now. I just wanted to just put in consistent quick laps, and just like I said, just find our pace here, as we had now kind of caught up to P9. So kind of using him as a reference here, we were just seeing where he was braking at, where his throttle inputs were at, where we were gaining some good time. And you can see right here, we get a really great exit, go side by side down the straight, make a little bit of contact with him, holding off on the outside into turn number 1, and we just accidentally lose it right there. You could just see my frustration as I just braked a tad bit too late. That was our first side-by-side action there heading into turn number 1, and just could not hold it together. Just really outbraked myself, almost lost the back end, and we lost a ton of time. But luckily for us, we were able to kind of regain time on the P number 9, just close the gap a little bit, especially off of turn number 1. Looked like he was struggling a lot coming off of the corner, as we were just gaining a ton of time off of turn number 1, and we were starting to get a little bit of leeway here, as here on lap number 9 things were just starting to click and everything was just starting to just make sense for me now. I was really starting to find my pace here, and I was able to really keep up with this guy. But heading to the hairpin, we just get a tad bit too eager, and I just get on the brakes very, very hard to try to go for an overtake. Just couldn't keep my nerves down, and that was basically race over for our first one. We finished this race in P10 after 10 laps, and I was very, very frustrated at myself because around lap number 8 was when we were starting to get everything together and actually things started clicking, and that's when I started finding some pace and just seeing where I can really push the cart. So I was really eager to get into the second round. Although we were going to start off in last place, I felt like I was going to be able to be a lot more competitive on the second race, and maybe make some more overtakes and hopefully not finish in last place on the second heat. So now we jump into our second race here, and this is our second and final one. So after about 20 minutes on the racetrack of practice before this race, this is going to be the important one. Wherever we finish at here is where the points are going to be tallied up for the karting championship here at VSK. So hopefully we can finish in a good spot here, especially because we're starting off in last place. But I did kind of look at all the other heats that were going on around me. I definitely looked at what the people in the group A were doing, as they were the quickest guys here, and just kind of wanted to see if I can mimic what they were doing. I could see that they were driving a lot more aggressive, and they were actually braking a lot less than what I was doing. So I was gonna see if we can try to implement some of those strategies, and again, just hopefully finish in a better spot than what we did on the first race. I mean, we can't do anything worse than P10, so if we can come home with a P8, P7, or P6, I'd be very, very proud of myself for this very first time out here. So we're waiting now for the 3, 2, 1. You can see the officials holding his fingers out. 3, 2, 1, and away we go. As we get a somewhat decent start, we're already up into P9 as we get a good start compared to P9 on the inside. And luckily, actually starting on the outside, we were able to just hold the throttle wide open, and we get a really, really great run off of turn number 1, and we get a huge head of steam, but just kind of get blocked off there by the carts up ahead, and we had nowhere to go after that. So after getting a really, really great run, we were able to make up a couple positions, but coming off of that after that hairpin, just into the chicane, we had to relinquish the spot there, as P9 got a really great exit, and we now find ourselves in P9. So one position up. Let's see if all the practice that we did on the qualifying in the first heat race, and just everything that we learned from Group A, if we can put that all together and see if we can be competitive for this race, as we're actually maintaining pace with the guys up ahead. So looking a little bit more racier here as we head into turn number 1. Take a little peek onto the inside, get a really good exit here. Just cut onto the inside, 3 wide into turn number 2. Someone gives on the outside, the middle car gives as well. And fortunately on the exit though, we just could not get the power again. And we tried to go for a cutback here, cheeky little cutback, but was not going to work out. To go again 3 wide back into the chicane was not going to work out. So everyone luckily got it sorted out. But the car in 8th place got a really bad exit, and we just took a little lunge onto the inside on that very, very quick right-hander. And now we are 3 wide heading into the final hairpin. So off of the final corner here, we get a little tap from behind from P10, as we were just trying to get around both these guys, and as we found ourselves in a 3 wide position, luckily we were able to kind of sort it out, and now we find ourselves back in P9 as the driver up ahead gets a really bad sense of understeer off of turn number 1. So going back into these double hairpins, we try to see if we can make a move here, just doing some cutbacks here, and just seeing if we can go for a move down the straight, but just couldn't find any pace down on the exit. But we stay on the inside right here, or behind him, just stay in the slip, see if we can get a good run off of the exits. This has been a really good spot for us. We've been really quick off of that fast right-hander, lead us into the hairpin, and we were able to outbrake him as we are having some good side-by-side battle. Again, going for the cutbacks, and down the straight here, we were able to get a good run. We were just keeping an eye on him, making sure that he wasn't going to keep us side-by-side. There we go, guys. We are able to secure an 8th place position, and now at this point, we're just going to make sure that he doesn't go for an overtake into the second corner. And unfortunately, he was kind of creeping up on us, but we were able to get a good run, and now we're just going to focus on trying to catch up to the guys up ahead, as like I said, I felt a lot more confident with my pace. So up into lap number 4 here, we were just looking back as I saw that P9 was really starting to make some steam here, and he was gaining a lot of time, and heading into turn number 1, make a slight mistake there as we're just making sure that P9 wasn't catching up too much. But into the second corner, we just get a really bad entrance, and that costed us a lot of time here, as P9 was able to get a really great exit off of the third corner and just maintain RPM. And you can see that the top end speed was just basically uncomparable, as he was able to get an easy overtake on the outside, and now we just follow along right behind him. So like I said, I was happy that we were able to have the pace to maintain at least 8th place, and I just kind of wanted to work with him because I knew he was a little bit faster than us, and he was a lot more consistent. So again, we're just doing everything in our power to just follow him, see if we can learn some more braking points and some quicker lines, and just see if we can work with him to catch up to the 2 guys up ahead. As you can see them heading into turn number 1 right there. You see that it's one guy coming off of turn number 1, and there's another one up the road compared to P7. So we're just gonna work here with P8, and as we work our way up into lap number 8, you can see that the gap is actually closing to P7, P6, and so things were working out pretty well here, and we were actually gaining a ton of time on these guys. And we're not only that, we were being very consistent. So we were just staying with P8 here, and just using him as kind of a guide to see where we were losing time. And one thing I was starting to realize was you definitely want to start accelerating as soon as you can in the middle of the corner. So you can see right here that right when we touched the apex, we were already stamping on the throttle and just trying to get to 100%, and just not letting the momentum die. As these karts, it just felt like momentum was the way to carry these things, to be as quick as you can with these karts, as we now jump up into lap number 9 and lead us into the final lap. So heading into the final lap, this was our very last lap of the day, so we were going to do everything in our power to just push and try to catch up to P8, 7, or even 6. As you can see, 7 and 6 are starting to get into a little battle of their own, and all that battling is leading P8 into their battle. So it's almost a 3-kart battle, and I was thinking to myself, you know what, if they can get into some trouble here, or maybe just one of them gets a little too overexcited and takes the other one out, we can possibly get a good finish here on our final race. But as we head into the final 2 hairpins, you can see that we were able to catch up to P6 and 7 and P8 here, but if only the race was maybe like another 5 laps or 10 laps longer, we probably could have caught up to them. We could have probably finished this race in either P7 or P6, and you can see I slapped the wheel in frustration, as I knew we were starting to gain pace there, and I knew we were starting to be a lot more consistent. Just ran out of time there, and we could not do anything better than P9. So after about 30 minutes with these karts in total of practice time that we had here, and with the races, I felt like towards the end, like I said, we were starting to gain some pace, and we were starting to get a lot more quicker, and I was starting to realize how I can maximize the potential of these karts. So I was really looking forward to coming back and doing this again, and just hopefully on the next time that we come, I'm able to get up to pace a lot quicker, and we can actually start competing for a finish either in the mid pack or even for a podium. End of the day, finished not in last, which is good, but there's definitely a lot of things I need to work on. I need to get a lot better on my braking, on my exits. I was losing a ton of speed on the long straights, so that's something that I have to really work on. But other than that, it was a really good time, a lot of good fun racing. And yeah, we're gonna come out here more often, try to get better at this. And again, just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel. None of this would be possible without you guys. And yeah, it's been a dream come true. But like I said, guys, we'll try to come back next time and we'll try to do better. And hopefully we can actually contend for podiums and maybe even a win. That'd be great. And maybe eventually work our way up to the Group A. And once we're in Group A, then that'd be awesome. We'll be able to race with the fast guys, and then after that, we'll see if we can go for, you know, top spot after that. But again, just want to say a huge thank you. And it's a really good learning experience. Definitely want to do this again. And we'll see how we do on the next one. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys want to subscribe, click that red button down below, turn that red button to a gray button, leave a like, really helps us out on the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.